The stream turned off and everything, so. Now it's going to say the
Shit.
stream's in 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Anyway. It's back now.
Woo!
Oops. Oops.
Oopsie doopsie.
I don't even. It's not even the new OBS update or anything. I haven't even done the new OBS update. Everybody says it's terrible. This is still on like.
Oh really?
Just on OBS.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever, I don't know if it's because I unload sources whenever they're not showing. So like, I try to load them in, or I don't know. But going to cat source recently has been crashing everything. I don't know why. But anyway, kitties.
Weird.
Put some treats out. Scatter some out amongst the mass of cat trees back here.
Mm-hmm.
At least they'll be on cam for a bit. Okie dokie. Yeah, we'll be lucky to finish, like, I don't know, man. This is taking forever.
It is. It really is. It's a long one.
It is. Like, the other ones weren't that long.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can do... I think we're getting close to wrapping day 2 investigation.
Right.
If we can knock out maybe day 3 trial this stream.
That'd be good.
And then next time we'll have day 4... Or we'll do the same thing we did today. We'll have day 3 investigation, then day 4 trial.
And then it should be done.
Right. Yep. Fingers crossed.
What does it mean?
My God. All right. You refresh some stuff. I'll probably retweet the stream again since it crashed.
Right.
Like, hey, still live. Imagine that.
Woo! It's weird. Well, my dad is pitching a fit because I haven't bought him paper towels yet, and so he's blowing up my phone.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, he was the one who angrily said goodbye and like hung up on me. I don't know why. He is calling me over and over, but you know what? That's on him, I guess.
Like, geez, Dad, I moved out. Leave me alone.
Right. I mean, he did just go through a surgery, so I've been going to take care of him pretty much every day.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like 3 to 4 weeks out, so he's a lot better off than he was. And it's just paper towels.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Okay, guides up. Yeah, we still got, we finished the evidence room.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go talk to Edgeworth.
Yeah, because he just had his investigation thingy hearing go off.
And then you come back to the evidence room, and then you finish the day. So,
that's confusing.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, cats are enjoying their treatos. I guess we'll jump back into El Game-O.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see if it breaks. We're good. Everything's fine. Everything's wonderful. Nothing's
and we're back.
Yeah, we never left. Imagine that.
Woo!
Let me refresh something real quick. Make sure all this is still working correctly. Okay, that's working. This is up. This is up. Nice. Okay. Can I do... What is this being broadcast on? I should be able to watch that, right? Sorry, I'm trying to... The Go Team football just started, so I gotta see if I can put it up on a screen just right in the background. We pull for Mississippi State because my dad went.
Oh.
They're not great, but, fun to watch.
Fair enough.
Watch. Yeah,
I went to OU, and they were good like 40 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about, like, is it Oklahoma, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, Oklahoma University. Or University of Oklahoma.
Right. It's like they're good right now, are they not?
Like they're decent, but everything that I've heard, they were a lot better 40 years ago, and they've had like some mismanagement with the different coaches recently.
Well, I thought they played today. They won today. I'm pretty sure they beat Nebraska today. I think they were playing or something.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were good to this. I may be getting things back like confused, but I'm pretty sure they were like top, top 10 or something, or like they're pretty decent. Looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm not. My alma mater. I went to UWF, which is University of West Florida, and we're not. We're not Division 1 or whatever. We're like Division 2 or something. Whatever the fuck like one level down is.
Yeah.
But we got national champions like 2 or 3 years ago, something like that.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You can't get it every year, but still.
And the program's like 5 years old, maybe. So they did like 2 years, and then all of a sudden they were national champions, which is wild.
Wow.
But anyway,
so that's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, like it's like a brand new program. Won the Natty. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, the game is up, so I can see if we will probably get murdered. Well, we're playing LSU, so that's not going to go well.
Oh.
But, anyway, all right. The actual game, the game we actually care about. It's not the football game. It's this game. The game we're playing right now.
Right, this one.
Ah, yes,
right here
indeed.
in front of us.
This is the one. All right, so we got to go to High Prosecutor's Office.
Okay.
How do I even... I guess back to the entrance first, and then... I guess here?
Maybe you need to go to Wright & Co.?
There we go. It's of this building. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Okay.
Edgeworth? Edgeworth, are you here? Oh, you!
Oh, this guy! Fuck.
Right, he got a job?
No,
somewhere else?
Yeah, this dude was from the first case.
Like the first one.
Yeah, where she died. Like, he was like the... Yeah. I gave her a nice coffee in the room at exactly this time. I remember very well. Like, well, shit. Hold on, let me look up what fucking voice I did, I guess. Trying to be consistent here, guys. Go. Alright, no, I guess it was the second one. The first one was Butts. It was the second one where where she actually died. Sorry, I'm looking, skimming. Okay, found it. I'll put it on the screen so you can see it too. There has to be something in. Okay, there's not. Right here.
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay, I remember this voice now. Yes.
Very close to the judge.
The judge is more, it's got the elderly, whereas this is very prim and proper, sir. So,
sir.
Little less age, but pretty similar. Okay. Pull this back up on the walkthrough. All right. Oh, guest, my apologies. Oh, it's you.
Literally the same reaction.
Yeah. Like, okay. Have we met somewhere previously, sir? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. All that for that? What?
What the fuck?
Is Edgeworth
here? All
here?
cowboys look the same.
Yeah, right.
There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand.
Wow, how
he's so picturesque.
Right? Oh, right. Here's the hotel bring him tea service? Here? From the hotel?
Apparently.
Money.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry?
Oh, wait. Don't break stream. All right. She's in the wheel. At the bottom right, she's in the wheel.
Oh, fantastic.
Let's see if she actually uses it or if she's just investigating. It's turning a little bit. Okay, she's out. Damn it. I was like,
Aw,
maybe?
we got
No.
spooked.
Yeah, yep. Close. Closest so far. All right. Back to it. Apologies. Continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry?
Oh, I am.
By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you.
Oh, yes, actually. He brought me the latest information, it seems. Oh,
Really? Was it helpful?
apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. Oh.
The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him.
Needs to be calm.
So, how did the inquiry committee go? How'd it go?
Oh, actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Oh, yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time, again.
Again?
I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago, the SL9 incident, actually.
The SL9 incident? You don't say.
Are you okay for the trial tomorrow?
Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However,
Something happened?
they gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
Conspiracy!
It's really sketchy. Really sketchy.
Everything is very sketchy. The police department?
The Department of
Whoa!
Police?
What?
Oh, yes. Any further investigation of this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. The sketchiest of them all. I can do nothing but wait for his results.
I see.
Oh, why? I ask you. Why? All along I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. Oh. But still.
Wow. Never seen him this out of sorts. It'd probably be kind of emotional if he didn't have this voice that I'm giving him.
Right?
Oops.
Whoopsie doopsie.
ID card record. The record. Can we switch evidence?
Oh! Right, I'd better check this now.
Well, as I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage?
Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Oh, why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, please don't look at me like that, little girl. Oh, I was asked to go by Chief Gat, no less. At your age, no less.
Huh. The chief of police?
He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office.
But, it was solved, right? I mean, it would have to be if it was in the evidence, if the evidence was already filed.
The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case.
Are you sure about that?
Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Little girl, write this down.
Okay.
Screwdriver. Interesting.
Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case.
And I said, are you sure about that? Because you didn't think that the thing that happened at the police station had anything to do with this case either. And yet, there was a body.
Oh. I know you. You've probably got a hold of some information already, right?
That's me, that's my name. It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident. Some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in.
You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later.
He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. What a lovely memory that was.
Right.
That was last case with Van
Van Buren. Yeah.
Right, the one that was not Van Buren. That's a
Von
real thing.
Karma.
Ron Karma, there it is. Yep.
His daughter is terrifying.
Okay, Edgeworth. Why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
So help me God.
Help me, God. Help me, God. Oh, the SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant.
That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too, then. Ah,
It's all coming together.
puzzle pieces.
He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth?
Wow, you're a human?
Oh my God!
What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation? I mean, it was a serial killer, so that, you know.
Oh, in truth, I use slightly more extreme methods than normal.
You extreme?
We were
Never.
dealing with a vicious murderer. To let him go, the blood will be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed.
Wait, you didn't.
Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
Edgeworth knows my name. My sister? What? I'm too caught up in the fact that you know my name.
If you were still studying forensic science.
Yes? Huh? Yes, of course. I'm gonna go to college for it. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this luminol testing fluid and...
Oh, luminol testing fluid. Oh.
How did you know?
Well, then, you might have use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints? Oh my God!
Yes. Oh, it's been chemically treated for better adhesion. Oh.
Wow, he's so dreamy. For me, are you sure? We are the enemy, you know, even though, like, you giving me scientific equipment is really hot.
Oh, I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will.
Edgeworth, I'm really...
Oh, no need to thank me. Oh. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved.
You're really prepared.
Thanks. Well, given these a Detective Gumshoe as well, how are you get? I'm not a detective. Defendant, attorney, attorney. Like.
But haven't we been a detective in every single case leading up to this point?
Every time it's like, let's investigate. I'm like, that's not our job. That's not 0% our job.
Well, let's get going. One last investigation.
Why is it the last one? What are you talking
about?
Right. That's my name. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Like those two in the room that we both... Like, one of them we didn't know about.
Right?
Cool.
Back to the evidence room. Away!
Woo!
6 scenes later. There we go.
Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint.
Here, and this blood on the detective's evidence locker.
Let's use this secret weapon we just borrowed. Penny was a gift, Todd.
It was a gift! It's mine. Don't touch it. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger.
A finger? Like...
Yes, a finger. Any finger.
Phalanges.
Each finger leaves behind a slightly different fingerprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print.
Or the pointer? I really can't tell the difference at a glance.
Quit procrastinating and choose a finger!
I'll give you the finger.
I'd give him the Boyd all right if the Hayes office would only let me. Okay, now it's time to check for prints.
Yo,
let me show you how it's done. Right?
Hell yeah. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes.
The one when I'm close to murder.
Yeah.
First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around.
Huh? How do you do that? How do you sprinkle? I've never heard of this term.
With the X button, of course. See?
Boo! Boo. Ah! Looks like that did the trick.
The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess, like this.
You know, if this were on the 3DS, I think you have to actually blow into it.
Right? I think I did.
Yep, I think so.
Hey, how do I blow it? I'm on a console. I'm not on. You know what I'm saying? Like, how? Ah.
With the triangle button. Exciting, I know.
Remember, ladies, triangle to blow.
Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See?
Oh, Emma. Young, innocent Emma.
Wow, that looks like fun, all this blowing. Might take some getting used to, though.
Have you never had a birthday, Mr. Wright?
No comment.
It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything.
Unless you inhale first and you're done.
Inhale. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright.
Sounds wasteful. I guess I'd better give it a try. Better try blow it. Press triangle to blow. Oh, we did it.
There you go.
I think I'd like to try one of the other fingerprints. I was on a different finger.
Let's move on to a different finger.
It'd help if there was anything to actually fucking like look at here. Just like a blank fucking spot. I guess I'll just cover the whole fucking screen with it. Yeah.
Aha! You did it! You found one!
But, this looks nothing like a fingerprint. It's like a big potato.
Now that you mention it, I do like potatoes, but I
Who
guess it
doesn't?
doesn't.
Who doesn't? Potatoes are great. What does it mean?
I think it means we're out of luck. We don't
Out
have
of
any baked
luck?
potatoes.
You try a different finger. I messed up the first one. I didn't get enough of the first one, I guess.
The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves.
Oh. Shit. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here! Wasn't there a glove at the scene?
Yeah. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints?
Other prints?
Yeah, you know, like that hidden fingerprint hand thing. Looking at the locker door again closely.
There's a smudge below it.
Mm-hmm. It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print.
Ah. Fingerprints outside the blood. Ah.
What could it be?
This is super obnoxious, and I hate it. Whee! Huh. Wow, look at that.
Oh!
Do I have to, like, add more, I guess?
Yeah, I think so.
Lame? There it is.
Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling.
Dazzling, I say.
Dazzling!
Wait, hold on. Sorry. We fucking missed the point after?
Oh no!
This happened to us last week. We missed like 2 point afters because our kicker was atrocious, and we apparently missed it again today.
Oh,
So that's wonderful.
that's awful.
Love
We
to
need
see
to
it.
get that kicker off.
Yeah, like you're on like the on the goal line. How the fuck are you missing? It's right there.
Right?
It's right there. Dazzling, you say? What is? Huh?
Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find.
I know how to blow.
Let's match it up right away.
So we're not done yet? This is quite a process. I'll expect the answers immediately.
Instant gratification is the bane of this generation, Mr. Wright. While there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right?
I guess she's right. Ah. I won't tell her that, though. I was going to say it in my head.
Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And point out the person you think left these prints.
How am I supposed to know who it was?
Be psychic, dummy. I can make a pretty good guess, because I'm psychic.
She left
Except
them.
I'm
That's
not.
different. Yeah, that's the different one. She left. That's why we're doing
Yeah.
fingerprints now.
The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker? Gumshoe.
This
Who
one.
do you think?
Ah. Match found.
Woo! Aha! So these prints belonged to Detective Gumshoe.
Yeah.
Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look.
It's his locker. I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what? It's literally the guy's locker.
Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. This is just a tutorial. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. That is the essence of baseball. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright.
Thanks for the sympathy and whatever. I guess. Wait. If I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out.
One other handprint.
That's the one I was gonna investigate anyway, to be honest with you. Not move.
Right, that's the one I would have preferred to investigate, right?
Yeah. This is where we got a luminol fluid reaction, right?
Right! There was a handprint here. Okay, want to try using this?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah!
There go her eyes sparkling again. I'm gonna check for prints.
Ha!
Alright, let's check for prints.
For prints!
Yeah.
That's the spirit! Oh, but I have to warn you about something first.
What?
The area with the blood was wiped away, right?
We only ended up finding it using chemical means.
Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too.
Oh. Right. So that means no prints.
Yes. Correct. Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high?
No? Don't ask me. I don't hypothesize anything. Hypotenuse, I don't know anything about triangles, little girl.
Anyway, triangles. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away.
Prints other than the one left by the bloody hand. So not this one. Okay, so they should find other ones. Fuck.
But how?
So none of these, huh?
Oh, there, it light up right next to it. Okay,
What?
so you got the bloody handprint, and then up. There.
Yay! This is a fun mechanic. Yay!
You're having so much fun. Achoo!
Ah, I gave it my best shot. I blew that sucker real good.
That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it?
But it doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from this print.
Huh. Okay, let's try a different finger then.
Fuck. Wait.
There.
Here?
Yeah, there.
Ah. Ah!
Ooh.
Nice. Is that not
Nice.
good enough for you, little girl? Fuck.
It should be, but do it a little more. I want to see how far you can blow.
Why are you making me blow stuff? I don't get it.
Well, obviously you need the practice if you haven't blown out any birthday candles. That's just sad. What are you going to do when you actually have a birthday candle to blow
It's
out?
pretty similar to Gantz.
Ew, is it?
Fair. Maybe not? Okay, no.
Nope.
It's
Nope,
sweet.
nope.
It's like, I thought it was just like slightly burnt, but I guess it's not quite.
Not quite, sadly. Sad to say, I cannot
There
do
it is.
that. Oh.
Marshall! My
Hey, I thought so.
My
With the
God.
murder weapon.
Ah.
Shaving with the murder weapon.
Shaving, yeah, yep. My God. Hey,
Oh my
these
god.
fingerprints, they,
Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know?
it's Officer Marshall! My
Oh my
God.
god!
Ah,
Huh? Officer Jake Marshall?
yeah. Out of the court, right?
That's got to be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime.
I doubt it's a coincidence.
He's my sister's boyfriend.
Emma. This is decidedly different from the Detective Gumshoe's prints. Luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place.
But what if it's just his locker? What if it's just a coincidence? I mean, he's the guard here, right? Oh! Oh!
So, we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain.
I know this does seem very odd. However, if we consider the evidence... But why would Officer Marshall...
Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results.
Not ones that I like! Sad face.
I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence.
Oh, sadder face. I don't believe it.
This was the car door in here? I didn't even see that before. Yo,
Car
trial
door?
time, let's go. Finally.
Let's go!
Finally, end of day 2. Woo!
Ah!
Jesus. Like
It's
3.5
been a day.
hours. Fuck. So much. You know, I'm pretty much like just going off the guide. I haven't done much like extra anything. I've been just doing the guide, and it's still taking forever.
Ever, yeah.
Wild. Wild.
Oh, it's so much.
All right, the next day to Fort District Course, defendant lobby number 2.
So, what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the
This definitely
prosecution is as confused as we are.
Good.
It's
I mean,
it's a real shit show, to be honest with you. It's a real shit show.
yeah.
After all,
The victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time.
wasn't her name Angel though, or is it Lana?
Oh, this is Lana.
And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime
That's
scenes.
right. That's right. Her sister. I forgot about her.
I do still exist,
the actual suspect? I forgot. I haven't seen her in a while.
right?
Lana!
Lana, danger zone. Lana. Fucking Archer.
Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed.
Hope they didn't hold you for too long for questioning.
We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though.
Are you coming on to me, or am I misreading the vibes here?
Obviously.
Oh.
So, how'd it go?
It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless.
Oh, us too. That's good.
I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain.
You did what now?
I struck a plea bargain, without my lawyer present. I have that, prerogative. I was also questioned without your presence, so that's most likely on you.
A plea bargain?
We were playing detective, so what can I say?
What do you mean by that?
We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma.
Oh, fuck.
But Lana! Don't tell me you!
Much to my regret. I'm as much in the dark about this as they are.
Miss Scott,
Mr. Wright. Hmm.
we found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. You might find this interesting. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall, who I assume you have been bumping uglies with, is the term I've been using.
What kind of trace evidence?
Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. It's pretty damning. The evidence is damning. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall?
We have to play the cards where dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Scott?
Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. I will say
Okay,
nothing.
I will. I will do that. Sure. I will do what's right.
Right.
What name?
Ah!
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
defense is ready, Your Honor.
Oh, the prosecution is... Oh. I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. Oh, it takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. What? That's not physically possible. Is it? Can we... Is teleporting a thing now? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Very strange, if you ask me.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Mr. Edgeworth has a teleporter in his trunk, apparently.
Wow, this is one messed up trial.
Honestly, he should have recused himself a long time ago.
Yeah, this is weird. Real weird.
Oh, one of my duties as prosecutor is to prevent impartial evidence.
Like the body in your trunk?
Today, yes, that. I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police station. Oh.
Like the knife in the muffler of your car? Inside a muffler?
In doing
It's
so,
fun.
shut up, little girl, I will believe the way in which we should proceed, will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself.
And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Find you very confusing, little
Yes.
girl. Very
He's
confusing.
very on top of things.
He is a top. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. Oh, for its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
Oh boy, things are getting wild from the get-go. Oh shit.
Officer Meeseeks!
Ah! Boy, this is
You're gonna have fun.
be a lot of me, huh? All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of you.
Well, the witness, please state his name and occupation.
Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meesick, sir. My occupation is that would be a murder, sir.
That's not how I'm not your lawyer, and yet that I know that's wrong.
So you're telling us you're a professional killer? I mean, I understand you're a police officer, but you're not supposed to say that phrasing out loud.
Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. It was me. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Put the fucking bullhorn away, dude. Please.
Who let him come into the room with that?
Actually, sir, would like to hear from you is, and he says, sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. The person who actually adults can't possibly comprehend.
Oh, really?
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins.
Sir!
Oh, give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order.
Yeah, after part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir.
You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm.
I can't fault him for a lot.
Yeah, for like implicating himself on the stand.
Yeah, right? It's me, the professional murderer. Like, whoa, sir. Whoa, dude.
Like, slow down, bud. You're gonna go to jail.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security scene and I rushed in the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smashed me awake. That's fucking not polite.
And that's not what he told us when we were talking to him in the detention center.
Yeah, right. So, the victim, Detective Goodman, he attacked you, did he?
Do it orders before you can do it to you. That's the mix of sir.
I see. Then you fainted, and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
What I need here is more info to work with. This is just a shit show, to be honest with you. Great.
Okay. I actually have to update my,
What are you updating?
Press all of his statements. Great.
Literally all of them.
That's what I wanted to do.
Fantastic.
Thanks, game. That's really what I wanted in life. More of this.
Mr. Makins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm trying to pop new print, sir. Yikes. Now there's a scary thought.
Oh, evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
I thought you were in charge of the evidence room.
It's the fucking sign out front.
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir. A lovely police master paid by the chief detective, sir. The music! It haunts me! I wasn't sure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
I see. It sounds like a very important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. I really want to carry the blue eyes for the room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Oh, tell us, what did you see when you got there? Oh.
I spotted a suspicious man, security screen, and rushed in the room. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here on my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is! I found it! This is the one right...
Could you please read us the number that I will not remember?
Yes, sir. It's 49569, sir. I see, but the number 4989596, is shown as being used twice.
Huh.
Excuse me?
Weird. So once 10 minutes after Miles Edgeworth and once, like, literally right after Goodman.
No, with Miles Edgeworth. Right? No, sorry, 10 minutes. I see what you're saying. Yeah. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And who's the all sevens?
Yeah, right? Oh, please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir. The first time was when I relocated the blue bag to the evidence room. And then the second time was when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see. So it was during that second time when...
Yeah, sir. It was part of the man's skin screen. Okay. Oh, let's see. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us what exactly happened to you? It was a knife, sir! A knife!
Not the knife!
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then?
Well, with me charging him like that, he was surprised as I was. You only think of the kind of person someone would want to run into. Just in general.
Right.
No one likes you. Moving on. That's what I mean, sir. I saw my arms like an octopus struggling to the tank. Like an octopus? What
It's
a
not-
weird... Like, why?
Unless you have 8 arms, I don't think that's effective.
Right?
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hands wouldn't be...
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. What exactly do you mean when you say didn't? Like, you're banging or what? I don't love the time, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir! Oh, fucking course you are!
Sir!
Barney Fife over here, dude.
Yeah.
I was guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? Really? You? You did? I spun around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
Really?
What? I see. He must have been desperate. Been something. Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew...
Yes?
He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out. About what time did you regain consciousness, anyway? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that I'm unconscious? Ah, right.
Oh, according to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is.
Why I came around, though, I've been trying to finish my mission, sir. Your mission, huh?
The Blue Badger has evidence on it.
Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. Of course. I turned him to the entrance before this got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. This fine gentleman's been protecting us all.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Oh, yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point.
Never once did he say that he actually stabbed him. He just said he got punched in the face and passed out.
Yeah, he took the knife and disarmed him and then passed out. Like,
Literally.
what?
Oh.
Yes, Officer Meekins.
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. Sent to my jail cell. Or it was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gid delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
Why?
Oh, the chief? Oh.
Delivered it? Himself?
What is that? A videotape?
Yeah, sir, that's it, sir. Videotape, sir. I can take footage from the scary cameras in this room.
Oh, what? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. What the shit?
They
That's
just don't like you, do they?
quite a mistake. What the fuck's happening here?
I do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing really good. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. AKA, it sucks.
Bang, bang.
Well, then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Yes, sir.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. That scares me. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Shit. Lots of shit.
Big shit.
The music. Oh, it's the fucking Blue Badger music. Why?
Oh my gosh.
Why? Horrific.
That's so annoying.
Horrific.
I can't
Shit.
even hear it, and I'm just very annoyed.
It's so bad. Like, of all, like murder to this music? Great. And it covers his fucking face?
Yeah.
You bitch. You Blue Badger bitch. Get him, Meekins. Why not have two cameras?
Right, like, seriously? In a place as important as the evidence room? And it turns away at the most important part.
Ugh. Damn you, Blue Badger. Damn you. And he's just fucking gone?
Yeah, yeah.
You like crawl out underneath the camera view?
And wait, how did the bloody handprint get on that locker when the blue badger is right in front of it?
Anyone went to move the blue badger? I don't fucking know, dude. This is wild. I have no idea what the hell's happening at this point.
Yeah, everyone's got the same reaction.
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. Namely, what the fuck? How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? I feel the
Burning that
darkness
badger.
within. Oh, what the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire Colonel Affairs Department, sir! It's the Blue Badger, sir! Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Why am I not surprised? Great, wonderful, fantastic. Shit.
These unsettling feelings stirred
Yes,
within us.
well, anyway. Excuse me. This tape
Listen
seems
tight.
to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room with the candlestick and some sort of... Oh, fuck. Oh, Your Honor, instead of replying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir, as you wish, sir! Mr. Meeseeks, look at me!
Dun-dun-dun.
Oh my god. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
Unless he had transferred the fingerprints onto the glove that he wore on his right hand when he opened the locker.
What's this about a fingerprint? Oh, each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Now, let's see. Hold on. Press his fifth statement. Thank God it's not all of them.
Oh, geez, yeah.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Okay.
Dun-dun.
1, 2, 3, 4. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir!
Please do. After all, you are the one being examined.
I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir! I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir! My unsettled state can justify it after this, sir!
Yes, you have a point. The footage does not lie. Oh, that is, unless the defense can find a problem with it.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again.
Is there a problem with this security video? Oh, you better believe there's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange.
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction? Oh, interesting, Your Honor. I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video.
he would want me to point it out. If he would want me to point it out, I'm sure he fucking would, you know what I'm saying?
Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of.
Oh, fuck.
I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I ever had to do that.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. I believe in you.
Thanks, child.
It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. This may be the first time and your tutorial. However, I believe in you. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. You good?
Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy become a police officer anyway? Nepotism? Probably.
Probably.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman?
Fuck! Pause. I haven't figured out what the hell we're doing here.
Oh, what?
I gotta look at this fucking guide to see what the hell we're talking about.
Okay, good luck.
I know, right? Okay. Before Goodman walks over to the left side, look at the Goodman's locker. It's lit up. Oh, it means it was open if it's already lit.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. Alright, play. Ah, yes, indeed. Present.
The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir! Do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Thank God for a guide. I would not have seen this.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it is there.
Right.
It's just... It's hard to see when it's black and white.
Yeah. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier.
Oh!
Love to see it.
And the fucking Blue Badger music is still playing.
Ugh.
It's the worst. Here, notice the light.
What's this? It's already lit. It's lit, fam. Oh shit.
Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle.
Whoa.
Order. What's the meaning of this?
God, I wish I knew. It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
Oh, but the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, just like me currently. And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. Well, that's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouth shut. I guess. Fuck me. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Any, Your Honor?
Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked?
Me? You're not, like... Fuck, I didn't think we'd get to this part. Alright? Yes, well, you see, ain't exactly my... I'm actually not a detective. despite what all's been happening.
I know, right? It's difficult to imagine, however.
What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh?
Well, huh? Oh,
Maybe something like jammed the system sensor?
Something. Jammed the sensor, you say? Say.
Like a badger.
Ah,
Badgers are notorious at jamming things.
they do like strawberry jam. Yeah.
I could go for some jam.
There's something else that seems out of place in this video.
Oh yeah, I thought so too.
Did you? Did you know? Did you tell me?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Let's look for Blue's Clues.
Very well. Let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out. Fuck, whatever it says. Hold on. The cause for this. Okay. If you look closely at Goodman's locker as it opens, you see something fall out. Okay.
Huh. Oh, something did jam it, like a card or something.
It was the glove. What you bet? It was the glove. Ah.
Or maybe it was the jar?
Was it Edgeworth's fuck up then?
No. Yeah, something fell out. What is that?
Ah. Well, shit.
Please watch closely. This is a continuation of the part I showed you from earlier. Hey, the music stopped this time. Thank God.
Yeah, right?
Although it's totally silent. So.
Mm-hmm.
What's this? Something white fell out of the locker.
But sir, it's been my experience to fall things that fall out of doors when they're open. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir. You can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
Now, the sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted? Say, between the sensor and the door.
Inserted. Penetrated. Ah.
One might say.
Yeah. Well. Thank God, once again, no music. Just awkward silence.
This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. This is like my tie. 2 out of 3 times he's stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. And I masturbate. Anyway.
But the judge would have to be extremely thin to fit the object. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Oh, not only that, it would also have to block an electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator.
Rubber.
Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene.
There just might have been something that fits the description.
But sir, by insulator, you don't mean...
I think I finally got this figured out.
Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door?
I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker.
It's tagged SL9, bitch.
Right?
It has a tag that says SL9 incident. Bitch.
Oh!
The video seems depict the victim opening the locker. That isn't the case. This lit lamps attest to this. It's lit, fam. Well, the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Mr. Officer Meekins, Mr. Me6? Look at me, sir. Look at yourself, sir. He chokes himself. He gets off on it, though.
Order, order, order. So, are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Oh, do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, the defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Oh, Officer Me6, please testify about this.
Sir! Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir.
Sir! What are you talking about, sir?
Oh! You mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a fucking joke or what? I mean, like, come on, man.
Very well, begin your testimony.
Shit.
They always gotta throw a kink into it.
I know,
And not
right?
the fun kind either.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a piss kink and not even like a bondage kink, you know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa.
There's one thing that proves that this man was Detective Goodman, sir. At the end of the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Where an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the dude used his card.
Right. But what if somebody else had the card?
An ID card record, I see. Oh, I had the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, eh? Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? Oh, this particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
To the detail we only just now learned. Thanks, game.
Special cases? Huh? What? Huh?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Oh, just hearing that makes my hand stand on edge. No, my hair stand on end. Not my hands. That's the Addams family.
Right.
Me too. Well, it didn't really make much of a difference, I guess.
Oh, there were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleaned up by noon. Right, I see. Now, let us move on to the cross-examination. Whew.
Great.
All right.
Second, third, or fourth statement present the ID. Or Goodman's lost item report. Interesting. Alright, we'll present the ID.
Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. You bitch.
I'm not good at waiting, sir.
I have the victim's ID card right here. In my possession. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present.
Which would
It's a
be
very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
Did we
Lost
test it for prints?
item report is only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report.
Oh, let me guess. You believe there's something to be his ID card, right?
I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order. So, now, what does this all mean? Does anyone fucking know at this point?
I mean,
It
it
can
could
only
mean a lot of
mean
things.
one thing. That
Oh.
doesn't even require much thought, so even you might understand it, Judge. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order. Does the prosecution have a response? Oh,
No.
I have only one thing to say to the defense.
Huh?
Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Bravo?
Delta Phi Gamma?
Huh? Where?
Oh, allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the lock in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yeah? I mean, what's he up to? Anybody here know? I'm confused too now.
That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder.
That is, I mean, I guess that's right. You're just saying what I said, so this is obviously my conclusion. Thanks for telling everybody what I was thinking.
Oh, is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
Oh my gosh, what did you do? Swallow the mic?
I did.
Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around.
This isn't going to end well, is it? Fuck.
Oh, well, it seems you've finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
That if the real murder was at the other scene, then Lana's still guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, the defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So, well, the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's
Legit.
office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
Fuck.
Right?
It got me. Shit.
Like, dang it. You made me do your work for you.
Yeah,
Damn
right.
it.
I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. Damn it, dude.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Oh, just so, Your Honor. Oh.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana.
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess?
Object!
Shit, I'm gonna guess I need to object here. Yeah.
If you wait and see what happens, it's game over, man. Game
Yeah, right.
over.
It's game over, man. One moment, Your Honor. I gotta think of something. Hold on. Guys, this...
A few extra seconds, please.
Let me go read the script. I gotta figure out... Like
No, what's my line, anyway?
Robin Hood Men in Tights is like, wait, I lost? I can't lose? Let's read the script.
Oh, what now, Mr. Wright? Oh, don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Oh.
Smug bastard.
Oh, of course not. I would never. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. Almost.
Oh, what are you talking about?
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. Security video did not show the actual murder.
The blood.
Yeah, true. Ah! No music, thankfully, but like, come on.
Again.
Yo, touchdown, hell yeah. We make the point after. We'll fucking find out. However, it could not be said that this is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot.
Because the ID showed up at the parking lot. At the very beginning.
Yep. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room.
Oh.
The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Can we make this fucking point after? Hold on. Can we make it? Straight down the middle. Holy shit. Alright, move on.
Woo!
Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police station department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident.
This just might be my chance, bitch.
Let me choose a witness for once, damn it.
Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Mr. Wright, do you mean?
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh, whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
Oh, the prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name?
Gotta be.
Jake Marshall.
Officer Jake Marshall.
Oh, why him?
I can't let Edgeworth know anything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
Oh, the prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? Oh, we will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Kickball starts in 2 minutes. I'm picking teams. I'm a captain.
Whew. Sometime later.
There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What do you mean? Oh, professionally. No.
You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out.
No. But I'm trying. I figured anything out. That's not at all.
You know everything.
Not
You've
even
seen
close.
behind every obfuscation we've thrown in your way.
Nope.
Clearly, you are a master detective.
Not the detective.
Lana,
Not the detective.
you're the one who knows everything.
Why
I don't have a fucking clue what's going on.
Why can't you just tell it on the stand? Like, why?
Emma. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection.
Yeah, we hit it raw.
Hey, how can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Uh-huh. He's,
Hope I'm
he's
not
come here for
interrupting
a
anything here, pals.
steak.
Like, obviously knowing he is definitely interrupting. Clearly.
Sorrow.
Oh, I
Right?
guess I am. I'll come back later. That's so sad.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Just you ruined the moment's gone. You already ruined it. Just tell us now. It's fine. Whatever.
Oh,
You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a
puppy.
detective run all around while on duty. And to drop it off, you call me here. I've seen happiest people at funerals.
Sorry, detective.
You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you in that cheap Roski sky.
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
Oh ho 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 ho.
Literally.
You mean this, right? I was like, God, stop, please. Please stop.
Right. My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
Ah.
My name? Like, right? My name?
Correct.
How dare?
Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident. Or fuck.
The SL9 incident? It's surprising every time you say it. Every time it gets brought up, it's surprising.
Oh, do you remember the time? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them in the 5 minutes we have
So
before
it's a
court
It's a little
opens
light
again.
reading, no big deal.
Right?
I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case.
Miss
Miss
Sky.
Sky
Oh, right.
was a witness? Huh?
Easy.
Huh?
Everyone's connected.
Oh! Conspiracy! Joe Dark killings. What a cool name, Joe Dark.
Uh-huh. Darker, darker, and still yet darker.
Take it from me. You don't know anything to do with these serial murders.
Ah!
Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me?
Emma! But why? Wait, why am I saying, what?
He's been reading.
Oh. Why is your name in, why is your name in here?
My name? Who would have guessed? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... ... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings.
The Joe Dark? No, Lana! That's over with! No!
Emma, wait! She ran away. Fuck.
You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. This is a very tense situation. I don't like it. I'm gone. See ya. Right, Pablo. I'm out of here. Bye.
Bye.
Jake, Marshall, Angel Star, David Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone but me. What the shit?
Wait until you find out how you're connected, Phoenix Wright.
Oh, fuck me. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you, you might just be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
I better take a good look at this file for the next 2 minutes.
You have 2 minutes to read. Chop chop.
Woo!
Burn in daylight.
Yeah, right?
Oi. All right.
Man, think we can get to the end of this day
By
by the end of 2 hours?
no. I'll tell you why.
Fuck. Why?
It's day 3 trial ladder, which is after the after the recess. Then there's day 3 investigation before this day ends.
Oh, okay. Can we get to the end of the trial?
That's what I'm going to go for. Is
Okay.
I think we'd hit the end of the trial if you're good with it.
All right. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Let's see if we can hit the end of the trial at least. I did save it. Let's double check just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
No carbon double saving. All right. Yeah, this doesn't look very long on the thing, so maybe it won't be too bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll be okay. Did they switch sides? Am I seeing things?
No, I think it's the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. Excuse me. Well, these gravelly voices are killing me.
Oh,
like,
I
like
understand.
the high, like me six, and like the Detective Gumshoe and shit. Like it's killing me.
Oh, bad. You're gonna need some like throat tea later.
My voice tomorrow's gonna be awesome. Though I'm gonna be real deep. It's gonna be great.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
Emma didn't come back. She
Cool,
ran
don't
away
have
from
line.
home. She had one of those little sticks with a blanket over her shoulder, whatever. Whatever.
Poor baby.
Oh, allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime.
And they're stuck in this voice.
Here we go.
Oh, witness, please state your name and occupation.
He's got a flask, dude.
Me, partner?
Chug. Oh.
Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Oh, occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman.
Holy shit! Slow down, dude.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. Oh, to be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind? I've never heard Edward described that way before.
Wait, do what? Oh, I guess.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Weird. That's not how I took that that phrase at all.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English, please. Okay.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be a dialect of Old English.
Yeah,
Like
right.
Old Western English.
My job was to keep a wary eye even, on that bone orchard. They said I was...
weary eye would be a tired eye.
Yeah, right. Aware, I guess it means like you're cautious or whatever. Anyway.
They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
Damn.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. I'll save it for you.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems, huh?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. That's 2 in my book, bucko. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers, huh?
Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? Daggone shit.
He's not being very helpful. This is not going the way I had planned. Kind of shitty.
Oh, he's not that good with machines, or with following orders for that matter. Fuck. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
Like your weakness for alcohol.
Yeah, right. Dude, slow down.
This one seems like trouble. He's definitely a bad boy. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
Okay, on his 4th or 5th statements. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Present. Fingerprints. Yes.
Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd that is you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime, or so you say.
And yet you dragged me down here, god dang it. Explain yourself, partner.
Chug, chug, oh.
Quite simple, really. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a head.
Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, I make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
I only wish it were, officer. Truly, I feel for you. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Pretty damning evidence for to say so myself.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your bloodstained fingerprints were at the crime scene?
The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall,
I cut myself shaving.
Right.
It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
What are you doing, Kohana?
Demand attention.
huh?
Now she's like, let me see if we can see her. Hold on. Turn the countdown on. She's up there. What are you doing, ma'am? Huh? Kohana? What are you doing? Just hanging out, I guess. All right. Don't freeze, OBS. Let's go.
Woo!
Oh, I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the fuck. Well, about the blood-stained fingerprints. Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Okay. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves?
That hadn't been... Nothing said that. Right? Like,
Yeah, I don't think anyone said that.
See? I had nothing to do with it.
I don't think anybody's been
Only
missing
the
gloves.
murderer would know.
The witness's explanation appears valid. Although
No,
there's
it's not.
room for doubt, I'll admit.
And the fact that he knew something no one had said.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. And I'll do it now. Alright, gloves. Gloves. We didn't know that actually, sir. How do you know that? Huh? What?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
And shaving your massive beard.
Oh, there was a bloodstain at the scene thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
Oh, however, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh, yeah. I think we tried that too, actually. Yeah, I remember that.
So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion, Your Honor.
I can't let him squirm out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to find something.
Gotta lasso him in
decisive.
evidence.
Tie Officer Marshall to this crime.
And hog tie him down.
Wait, do what now?
What?
Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's like... Try to get print in the Gumshoe's locker and determine the mayor was wearing gloves. Marshall refers to the security video, but he didn't do that just now.
Mm-hmm. Weird.
And says if you can't prove he's in there, you've got nothing on him. Marshall adds this to his testimony. Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? But he hadn't said that yet. So, like...
Right. So what do?
Right. It's like, how do I get him to say that, then?
Do you present the gloves? Oh.
The evidence room. What's the handprint? The heck? Where's my... If I present, I have to present.
Yeah.
Do you only present this, or we just press them on it? If we present this, let's see what this does.
The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor.
Okay, but what if you presented like the gloves that fell from the locker?
I don't know.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen if you just do every random thing you can think of?
It'll fail.
They're gonna make you
It'll
go
fail me out.
save
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. What? Like, it's just the guide's like.
The guide skipped a step.
Yeah. It says, how did you know about that? Edgeworth states that they tried the prints on Gumshoe's locker and determined that the murderer was wearing gloves. Right, which is what he did. Because Marshall refers to the security video, it says if you can't prove he's in there, you got nothing on him. She didn't say that.
Yeah.
So, like...
Maybe press him on it?
I guess, like...
That's because you, how'd you put it, pay respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. That one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. On a boulevard.
I see.
Walk alone, I walk alone. Dun, dun, dun.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's program. He must have been using the fingerprint locker all this time and never knowing it. Okay. Okay, now I was going to say it. It just didn't include doing this, which is wild.
Weird.
Are you starting
to get the picture, partner?
All those
the
poses.
picture? Trying to send me a dick pic?
This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards.
Huh?
There's only one reality, and that's this.
The security tape?
So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry.
Now then, please continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
So now he adds this. Okay, now I can press him on this statement.
There you go.
What do you mean by that? Huh? Huh, bitch? Huh? What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner?
Huh?
Hell yeah.
If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. Sorry, my drinking got me.
Burp.
Yeah, right?
But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. It doesn't show the floor at all.
Blind spots. Cameras
You know, when the
on-
camera turns away from the action.
Yes, right.
Places you can't see, Your Honor. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Behind that set of lockers?
Yeah.
There's obviously room behind those lockers.
The camera's panning back and forth on the floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
Oh, we don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now.
Let's do it.
Very well, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Is there a tumbleweed going across the screen?
Oh, tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at that video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall.
Alright, fuck, hold on. Let's see what the fuck this is. Left view 4. Okay. Fast forward. Gotta hold it. Okay. 2. 3. 4. Alright, what the fuck does it say here? Maybe it's this. Maybe it's, it didn't count the first one. Maybe. Hold on. Let's go one more. Aha!
What?
This cloth right here.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
How would you
there
ever
go.
do this? How would you ever do this other guy? How? Like that's insane.
I know I've done it. It's
It's
just been years.
So like minute. Anyway.
Yeah.
Bringing our attention back to the security camera, let's play it all over again, and really slowly. It's a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Place
You're
that
not
I've-
a Texan.
You're right, I'm from Cleveland. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
No. Very well. Or 2. You can clearly be seen in this video. 8 words.
You could send that in a message. There you go.
You did it.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. One you admitted was your locker. Come on. There it is. Yes.
That locker was with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe.
Judge, you got one for once.
Woo! Good job, Judge.
Now then, let's rewind the video just a bit. Nothing there.
Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation, and it's not ghosts. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Order. It would seem that's... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man.
Yeah?
So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it.
Really, man?
The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in, like I do to my girlfriend. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
Because you
This guy
don't know.
isn't just
do you?
playing dumb. He really doesn't know. What a fool. Hate to rain on your parade there, compadre. But you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it.
I'm guessing I used the
Evidence locker, Marshall will freak. Okay, this one.
Yeah.
A fingerprint sensor? Oh, shit.
We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this? Oh, shit. They got me.
Well, Detective Gumshoe didn't mention something about this.
In any case, locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
Shit.
That's some tough jerky.
I only got one word for you, partner. No! That go shit fuck!
That was I think that was 5 words.
That was 1 word.
Order.
What was it?
Witness, explain your... It was all typed together. You just couldn't see it.
Oh, okay.
Explain yourself, witness. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. I'm not very funny. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Shit.
Nom nom.
Olay? Like,
Why?
this is so out of character.
Ole.
Yeah.
Right?
Olay, please answer the question.
Yeah, what is he now? A bullfighter? What the shit? Writing's all over the place, guys. No idea. That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here.
We can? Please share with the class.
Have a look at these here floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet, Officer Meeseeks didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness? Oh, it seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right, the only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
Fuck. Oh, the victims... Present the victim's V-spot. Alright, game.
Hey. I didn't know that was a spot.
Yeah, right? The V-spot. Ooh.
That's new.
Yeah.
Officer Marshall was standing right here.
There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. He was dressed as Detective Goodman. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Correct.
Oh my god.
Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
Oh, but that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
What? It's ruined. Asked him to show his card, sir.
Yeah, and how did Detective Goodman respond, huh?
He saw me pull a knife on me.
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. He looked different than the fucking picture on it.
Oh,
As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have generalized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
Shit. You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. This bitch.
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective.
Former detective, get fucked.
Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complete it for the second time. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. Not even close.
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Fuck.
Ah! This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do?
Oh! It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Huh?
Oh, I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I shouldn't look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Ho ho.
Oh, why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? Oh, there's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. Oh, the fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. Did he get blood on his lab coat or whatever? On his coat? He got blood on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. From Meekin's hand bleeding?
I think so. But also I think the cloth they're talking about might be the glove.
Like the other glove?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
We'll see. I
What's
don't
the
have
guy
any
say?
evidence. This video is my only shot.
Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened his locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker.
Ah, the music! Okay. Alright. Uh-huh. And back. And back. Yep.
Ah!
For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and enter the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet.
Yeah.
Something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white coat.
You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker.
Shit, not bad, partner.
Interesting.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth, and nothing but the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we?
What?
What are you talking about?
Officer
Besmirching the name of
Marshall.
Edward.
Officer Marshall. Tell the court what you did. All of it. All of it.
No lies now. Perjury.
Oh. All right. It seems the time has come.
Oh boy.
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Whew! So, the supposed victim was really you. Oh, but there's one thing I still don't understand. The traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own dadgum hand. My guess is he's the donor.
It was way too much blood for such a small donation.
He has a rapid heartbeat. It's because he's got anxiety.
Oh yeah? Probably.
Yeah.
He's pulled it all
I
this way
mean,
passed
with
out.
that. Yeah, I mean, he passed out, but that man's got something chronic.
Oh, he's got something. We all know it.
Yeah.
I now have to press him on all statements.
Ah!
Him. When you say it, you mean
Do you even have to ask, partner?
the SL9 incident, of course.
Oh, 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner, that case is mine.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
Because he's dating one of the victims!
Gasp!
That day was my last chance. That's why I...
Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Good?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
Oh, so you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card. I stole that the morning of the incident.
That really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. Okay.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot.
Why, though?
Yeah, right? I guess that's where the body was, right?
Right? But wouldn't he know that he was dead?
Yeah,
You do
it's
that
like
after the investigation started?
he's tied to the...
Cold, man.
Who knows, man? The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. Ah,
Oh, so essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean? Well, I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker by yourself.
but he could because the rubber glove just happened to be stuck to the door. Huh. Huh.
So why was that rubber glove there?
There's more forces at work. That means Detective Goodman must open the locker before Officer Marshall.
Weird?
I'm so confused.
You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off.
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a
Well, I'm
detective
thinking-
for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. Were we saying something?
I was just like, yeah, you pulled a knife on Meekins, and now that I'm thinking about it, who let him into the courtroom with a knife?
Yeah, that's what I keep like. He's got a flask, he's got a knife. He's like, it's all wild. All of it's wild.
Japan, why?
Oh, I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
When did Edward get so much influence, huh?
when he was adopted rich,
Yeah, right. Never has...
right?
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one?
Yeah.
It's the actual dialogue! I was making the joke!
Yeah, no, it is that one. It is that one.
Oh, you mean this one?
Huh? I don't know what to say.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out, and we let you in here with the same knife you did it with. Fuck.
Right.
Jesus.
So you did your research beforehand, huh?
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tapers are erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. Oh, however, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room... Excuse me, goodness gracious. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was, Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby. One that had been bleeding out. I mean. So what you're saying is, on that day...
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates the crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. Oh, so you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Oh, why not? Oh. When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? Oh, it's still missing, Your Honor.
Yes.
I know.
Detective Goodman's
We need to figure
locker
out who
was-
that all sevens is.
Right? Like, fuck. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire.
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just
Is it,
remember,
though?
I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
That's fair. That's fair.
Why did you do this? Like, why though? You know what I'm saying? But why though? Stealing a detective's ID? Injuring a police officer? This is no small offense.
Oh, moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution, you know.
Speaking as people lower on the end of the spectrum there.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
Why? But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Oh, Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something we went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I was there, you know.
Were you in the room when it happened?
The room what happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Oh,
Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files.
I actually never looked at the files.
Nah, now's a good time to, right?
Yeah, right? Present the files. His last statement. Shit. It's the, I can't forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Present the case files.
Officer Marshall. I think I understand. Phoenix Wright, not me, Alec. No idea. No idea. Moving on.
But Phoenix Wright knows what's going on.
Apparently. I'm glad somebody fucking knows.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. I think.
sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
It's the quenchiest!
I have the SL9 incident file right here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. Oh fuck, what? It was oh shit. It's gonna be one of his relatives. Oh shit!
Yeah, there it is.
And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Oh, Neil Marshall.
He was my brother.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor?
You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Oh, now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed.
For Gant to frame somebody else.
Gasp. He was
Like
arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. Oh, and that's it? That's your reason for this insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Oh. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. Oh, that was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, came to the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Oh, yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day.
And we're still back at square one.
Yeah, like, alright, we solved this other non-murder. Like,
Well, the things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
That's way too coincidental.
It really is.
chance? It's got to be more than just that. I mean, the timing alone is wild.
Oh, yeah.
So, if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was a real one. Oh, which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
Objection.
But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Well, which is why we examined the police incident at the police department today.
What?
But
Well, there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Scott. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it in a single word or less.
Ah! Fuck.
End scene. I rest my case. Fuck. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There is no room for doubt until you have a sudden Deus Ex Machina that saves the day. Oh, well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
It's not thinking ahead. It's not your strong point, right?
Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court, finds the defendant.
Hold it! It's me! Your Honor, wait!
Deus Ex Machina!
It's me! I'm your Deus!
Emma!
The defense has an objection! A scientific objection! Right?
What do you mean, right? I got nothing. I'm fucked. I don't know. I'm fucked.
Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Fuck
No,
no.
he's not.
No, absolutely not. No. No.
No,
Your
Guardian's
Honor?
my sister.
Oh, in a sense.
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please, hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
Oh, I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute, I'll give you 3.
Oh, thank you. I knew he liked me. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprints had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint.
Oh, you mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again while you guys were doing all this.
So, did you find something? Like, spit it out, girl.
I did. No, I did not.
Wait, were you asking if I did? No, I didn't at all. No.
No, I didn't.
Huh?
Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator. Now what?
Is that all? Did you just waste my time and everyone else's time? You're a waste of your time?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student, at my age no less.
And I'm just an attorney that just lost this case.
But Mr. Wright, Those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? Oh, it appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. The blue badger was covering it, though.
Yeah.
Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with the handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I object.
Naturally.
This handprint
What else
left
are
at
you
the
gonna do?
crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans, huh? Something is missing.
Well, missing, you mean something hasn't been drawn on here?
Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use.
The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans?
Yep, blue badger, blue badger, blue badger, blue badger. Dun, 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 dun.
What about that piece of plywood?
The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Oh, explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Explain your shit, sir.
It was hiding a previous blood mark so that way no one could wash it.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
So?
So you're saying that old dude was murdered earlier that day in that room?
Yeah. Yeah. The time of death is wrong.
So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well,
What? Oh, gasp!
that's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing there, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
What? What?
He's just so dramatic.
So dramatic.
Also, did he just shove Emma off the stand? Like, she comes in, hold it! I need to make a statement! He's like, get out of here.
Yeah, where was he whenever she ran in, too? Like, what?
Right?
So that means, just exactly what does that mean?
It means it can't be done.
What are you saying? The blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me, I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Also, hi, I'm back.
Emma!
I'm part of the defense team. I'm being paid. On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So he covered it? What? So that must mean this blood mark
Was left there before the blue badger. Oh, that's your line.
was left there before the blue badger was brought in? What?
I just changed position, so I thought it was my line.
Yeah, right?
Just one moment. I will not be allowed such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
You've allowed a lot else.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation.
And do you know who else was in the room when it happened? Before that happened, the room where it happened?
On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
Oh, but how? Oh.
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, for which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle as shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
Objection!
Oh, that's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
Oh, so then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur, huh?
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place, huh? There's only one piece of evidence that can show that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place?
The log?
Probably? Probably?
Yeah.
Let me just make sure. Yep.
There we go. Take that.
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. Imagine that. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
Hello.
An ID card. Oh, the ID card record. Sorry, Dory.
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at,
let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be...
Miles Edgeworth, where all the other evidence points to.
4:50 p.m. 4:40 p.m. Shit. Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
Are you fucking kidding me? Muff punt, you dumb fucks. Oh! It's gonna give him a fucking touchdown, I guess. It's gonna let him have like the fucking 5. Holy shit.
Hall dropped the act witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. Well, it's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away
That's for that locker.
by the real murderer.
Sorry, this game's getting like actually intense and I'm worried.
Hall, I would have just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Whoever is all sevens.
Let's look at the chart again. It's probably Gant, to be honest.
I mean, really. Lucky
There's
number
only
7, right?
one other card number remaining. All 7s.
Oh, talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make any sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, maybe he entered with the all 7s guy.
Right.
He must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with all 7s.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777777. Oh, that's 1 7 too many, Your Honor.
What's going on?
They're replaying the fucking muff catch where it was just horrendous.
Okay, good.
Where they're probably either did or about to score off of it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Fuckers. Anyway.
Oh, unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card, at least at present.
Huh? What?
Explain yourself, son. Aha!
Hey!
Oh, the ID number, all 7s, belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
But that's ridiculous. Just how,
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted.
an official charge, you say?
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
Are you ragging on your brother when you say that?
Yeah, right? Oh, I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay, let me ask a damn question. Oh, yeah? No, not to you, to her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana!
I
Lana!
haven't said a word this entire time. What?
Like, is she even in the room? We never see her.
Right? She's just kind of like sitting quietly, like, don't look at me.
He's like on her phone, like, oh, me? Oh,
I'm
don't
just
be
browsing TikTok. Don't look at me.
stupid. She's been charged with murder. She's like, high score, Flappy Bird.
All right.
Well, of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not all sevens. Don't play me for a fool, boy. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one damn thing about that incident. Yeah. The SL9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Woo!
Oh, do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did.
Huh?
Lana!
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what the fuck are you saying?
Just push. All right, let me ask you again while I'm on the stand before you get on the stand.
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that damn trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Oh, why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana!
Even if it involved forging evidence.
Well.
See, that's the shit I'm talking about. Oh, no! Order!
Can't stop the beat.
Lana's march caused such a stir, the chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day.
Ah! My voice! Ah!
You get to rest now, sweet prince.
Yeah, no joke. I would love to save. Thank you, game.
It had to have been worse when you were the only person talking.
Oh my god.
Whew! Yeah, I was like whenever Emma ran off, I was like, oh, so it's just me for the next hour. All right, great.
Right?
Great.
I had to come back at the most decisive moment.
Appreciate it. That's what I said. I'm like, there's got to be some, like, Deus Ex Machina, like, aha, you know.
Haha! Except I didn't. I just came back to be like, hey, remember this existed?
Yeah. Hey, remember this? I didn't find anything. Hopefully you do. It's like, fuck
Right.
you. Fuck you.
Super useful, teenager. Thank you so much.
Oh. Jeez Louise.
Well, thanks for guesting.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna do this again soon, right?
Yeah, we have to. We have to finish it. Oh
We're
my
so
god.
close. We're so close.
We
Hey,
still
just imagine. Lana's gonna be on the stand next time. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, thank God. Now we have day 3 investigation and then 3 parts of
trial for day 4.
Think we can do it?
I mean, today we did day 2 trial ladder, day 2 investigation, day 3 trial former, day 3 trial ladder. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, I guess.
Yeah.
So we should be able to knock out. Do we really only do like the first like 2 sections the first time? Holy shit!
Right. So
But
you can
that
never tell
investigation
how
was
long
no
the
joke.
sections can be. That was
Yeah.
a long investigation. It really was.
Yeah. So if the day 3 investigation isn't terrible, maybe the trials wouldn't be too bad.
Okay.
Let me click on it to see how long I have to scroll for. Oh fuck. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I pray we can do it next time. I mean, if we had to start earlier, if you would be down for it, I don't know. But
Sure.
although,
I
like,
don't see a problem with that.
I don't know if my voice could last for another like 2 hours of this, you know?
Right?
Like,
Seriously,
jeez.
take your time. Don't drink milk.
Oh no, God no. But, whew. Anyway, call that a stream. Jesus.
Woo!
Jesus. All right, well, I'm gonna raid out, and we'll call it. We'll figure out when we're going to stream next.
All right.
So I don't know about next week. I may be out of town for next week, and I don't know yet, but we'll figure out.
Okay. Maybe like the weekend after next?
Yeah, we can do something like that.
Okay. I know Protectorate's coming up, and I'm gonna maybe get stolen for that, but I'm not sure exactly when it is.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, I found someone to raid, and so we'll call her a stream.
All right.
Whew. Man, I need to like rest. I'm physically drained.
Yeah. Okay, get yourself some tea, go lay down, watch your sports ball.
Yeah, right. Because like it's the 4th quarter, and they just went up. So it's like 17-16. We're the 16 because we missed the fucking point after.
Ah,
So
close.
It's all down to this quarter to see what the hell happens, I guess. Lord have
Mhm.
mercy, to be stressful.
Good luck.
Thanks. All right. I'm gonna hit raid and we'll call it. All right. Well, thanks again and good night.
Night.